ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the online press conference of Solaris Bus & Coach. I think all of us watching this intro video is missing times where we could use public transportation without a mask. But so far we need to follow the preventive measures related with the pandemic. That's why we decided to have our press conference online. But there are also positive aspects of these solutions. Thanks to that, we are broadcasted globally and we can reach much more larger audience. I was just informed that we are watched by over 150 journalists from all over Europe and few hundreds of participants of the bus industry. Before we start our presentation, I would like to inform you that all of the data presented today, presentation and all of information will be available after this event in our online press office and also will be available in our social media channels. Entire event is recorded and will be broadcasted in our YouTube channel. At the end of this presentation, media representatives will be able to ask questions using the Zoom link which was sent to you in advance. So I think it's time to start our presentation. Let me welcome to our studio Javier Calleja, Solaris CEO, and Petros Pinaris, board member for sales, after sales and marketing. Welcome.
Thank you, Mateus.
Thank you, Mateus.
I think we can start already our presentations, Javier, so the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be with all of you today to review our results in 2020. But before we start, I don't want to forget that 2021 is also a very important year for us. This year we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the company. We are going to celebrate all the people that was working and created the Solaris of today. And of course, we are also thinking in the platform that Solaris represents for the future. It will be a very important year for us. We will keep informing you about next steps on this 25th anniversary. 2020 was a very difficult year, very challenging year for us and for basically the full world. COVID appeared and changed the plans of everyone. It was really a big turbulence and a big impact of our daily lives. We are still in that and hopefully we can leave that behind us very, very soon. I would like to highlight what we have done to manage the company during the COVID crisis. So first of all, our first priority was the people, our people. So what we did, we started protecting the health and the safety of our employees, putting all the measures in place. We created a plan for every department and we put all the measures, including, of course, working from home and all the measures for the people that was working in the factory. Secondly, we wanted to continue with our operations because the second objective was to deliver our commitments to our customers. And I think we did pretty well. We have not stopped our factory a single day in 2020. We have delivered all the buses that we committed with our customers, and we have managed our relationship with suppliers in very difficult times. We are keeping that today in the same way, and I think we can be proud not only of the management of the crisis, but also in the results that we achieved in this fantastic year for Solaris. Let's jump into the results. So first of all, talking about number of buses, 2020, even with this challenging market, these challenging circumstances with supply chains affected, it was a record in terms of buses sold for Solaris. We sold 1,560 buses to our customers. That is a 5% increase versus last year in a market that was decreasing around 15%. So it's a big achievement for us. We are very proud of that. And we believe this also, again, showing the strengths of the company and how prepared we are for the future of the industry. Big, remarkable progress. We expect more this year. Not only we deliver the record number of buses, but also it was we have a very good landmark for us. We manufacture in our factory in Bolehovo the bus number 20,000 in our history. It was a special bus, and we delivered to one of our top customers, the Warsaw operator MST. It was an electric bus, so iconic in our transformation, in our transition towards electromobility. That was also a very good landmark to have in a very difficult year where finding things to celebrate was not always easy. Let me talk a little bit about markets and customers. In 2020, we sold buses for more than 20 countries in Europe. This is one of our main strengths. because we have presence in every country in Europe, and we deliver buses to all the countries in Europe. And we learn a lot from the different experiences of the different market situations, different market environments. I will highlight our top 3 markets in the last year, were Poland, Germany, and Italy. Poland, the home country for the company, where we have more than 50% market share and where we have been a leader for 18 years in a row. Very important market for us. Germany, an extremely competitive market, is today the second European market for electric buses, and 30% of the buses, of the electric buses sold in 2020 were Solaris buses. We are very proud of our progress in the German market. And Italy, where we achieved a record sales in 2020, where almost 70% of the electric buses sold in Italy last year were Solaris buses. And of course, where we want to continue our development working with our Italian customers. We say that we are changing Europe together, that we are helping our operators to shape the image and improve the image of public transport. I will highlight that we are doing that with all the large operators. So large operators across Europe have Solaris buses on their fleets. And we are especially proud of that because few companies can really serve the demands of the large operators and serve the volumes that these large operators require. And we are one of the few companies that is able to do that, especially when we talk about electromobility. But we work not only with very large operators, multi-country operators, but we serve equally well and with the same focus and efforts operators and cities. They have smaller fleets. By the way, some of them, they are true e-mobility leaders, true leaders transforming the public transport. Here is just a selection of them, but of course we have many across all the European countries. And in some of them, we are together working to transform how the public transport is serving the citizens, how they are serving the passengers for a more modern and cleaner and more efficient public transport. Let me jump into financial results. We are, of course, extremely proud that in a very difficult year, we achieved many commercial successes, we achieved production success, we achieved internal progress landmarks. But of course, everything at the end is translated into our financial results. And I think they were presented last week to the markets, and we would like to also highlight here the big progress that we did in the financial front of the company last year. Our revenues reached 725 million euros. It's almost a 13% increase year on year. Again, let me remark that this is in a market and in a year where the industry as a whole was decreasing double digit, and we were growing 13% in revenues. If we want to be in a strong company, we need to be very profitable. And I think this is speaks by itself, our progress in the EBITDA in the 2020 year. So last year, we grew in the EBITDA more than 55% year on year, in a year that again was not without challenges. And this is a key strength for the company. We are at the top of the profitability in the industry in Europe, and this is making us stronger to respond better to the market demands. We have a strong focus on efficiency, and this is giving us a competitive edge and is making us a stronger company, again, to win in the markets in 2020, but also in the coming years. Let me jump now into one of our strategic pillars, one of our key focus, that is the electromobility. First of all, it's very obvious today that electromobility is an unstoppable trend. It's going to continue, it will continue growing over the coming years, and there is no other route to improve and reduce the CO2 emissions of the transport in Europe and, of course, across the world. Last year, the market reached almost 2,100 electric vehicles in Europe. It was a big progress versus last year, not a big jump in 2019 versus 2018, but of course a big progress. And the good thing is that almost every country in Europe is doing the homework. Almost every country in Europe is growing the fleets of electric buses. Again, even with high difficulties, we expect that 2021, the operators and the cities continue pushing in this direction because this is the right direction and this is what the European cities need. In our case, I am extremely proud to say that we are leading this trend. We are leading this transition. We were co-leaders last year in electric vehicles sold in Europe. And by the way, we are the first European manufacturer on this list. This is important, of course, for 2020, but I would like also to highlight that this is also a long journey. And we are prepared for the years to come. Of course, we cannot disclose figures, but I can tell you that in 2021, we will have more electric buses than the number that we have in 2020. So we are here to stay. We are here for the coming years, and we expect to continue being a leader in this important transition that the industry is having. How we are doing this? Basically, we are transforming our operations, we are transforming our supply chain, we are transforming the way we sell, we are transforming how we are approaching and supporting operators in this transition. From the day when they basically design and think about speed of transition, type of buses, how to make the replacement on the routes, to the moment when they buy the vehicles and put the infrastructure, or to the after sales that is equally important. The electric buses needs to be reliable and delivering a fantastic service and a fantastic experience to the passengers in the cities, and that's what we are doing together with the operators. When we talk about figures, in 2018, we had 29% of electric powertrains in our vehicles. We moved to 40% in 2019, and this figure has been 44% last year. I will highlight that this is including electric hybrid vehicles and trolley buses, but the big jump from 2019 to 2020 has been our progress in electric vehicles. We expect to continue this progression in the coming years. This chart, I think, is one of the big achievements for us during the year. As I was explained before, the number of electric buses almost tripled year on year. This is a big achievement for us. Again, in a year where many plans were changed since the beginning of the year, where there were a lot of difficulties, a lot of headwinds that we were working against, but we again did it and we deliver a fantastic number of buses. We expect to consolidate this and going forward in this trend of higher and higher number of electric buses. The number of buses is very important, no doubt. The market share is very important, no doubt. But when you have transitions in industries, the accumulated experience and the diversity of this experience is critical. And one of the main strengths of the company today is not only that we have accumulated more than 1,000 electric buses sold to our customers and to the different markets, is that this is really done in a way what is very, very broad in terms of geographical and operators' point of view. So our battery buses have been chosen by more than 90 cities and in more than 18 countries. This is giving us a fantastic experience, a fantastic edge to understand what it takes to drive a bus in Finland or in Barcelona or in Milano or in France or in Romania. Different conditions, different markets, different weather conditions, and our buses perform very, very well in all of them. Why? Because we take all these learnings, we make our product and our procedures better and better, and we basically offer that to the markets. Few operators, few manufacturers are able to offer such a broad experience. So let me pass to Petros. He will continue explaining, and we will jump later into the Q&A.
Thank you.
Thank you, Petros.
Thank you very much. Okay. So, as Javier discussed, we have almost everywhere in Europe our buses operating. Here in this slide, you can see that we have the biggest contracts for the year of electric buses, which
We discussed that we are collecting data from left to right and up and down, but it's also very important that this amount of vehicles will be large enough for us to develop as fast as possible the new trends and the new product and develop the product in the correct way. So you can see that in this case we have 50 units, for example, in Krakow, in Poland, 14 units in Barcelona, 20 units in Romania, and so far and so on. So very important that we have a large footprint around Europe. What also I would like to stress out is the hydrogen contracts that Solaris has been able to be awarded the last year. So we have been already operating 10 trolley units with a fuel rates extender in Riga. We have also 2 electric buses with fuel cell rates extender in Germany. We have won a tender for 20 hydrogen units in connection in Netherlands, and also in Germany 25 units shared in Wuppertal and Cologne, plus 12 hydrogen buses in Bolzano. And that doesn't stop there. Our demo buses are operating as tests in several areas, like in Austria, in Vienna, and in RATP in Paris for long-term tests to collect even more and further information to develop such products. And also here, what is not presented, that also in our factory country, we were able to transfer all these, to transfer the product to all of the operators and give us more and more feedback for our development processes. STAS HH mission, this is a European consortium which has to do with the standardization of the hydrogen buses, and that is not only on the vehicle per se, but definitely when it comes to the infrastructure of the bus. And infrastructure meaning the tanking stations and the way that this is happening. So the aim is to define and develop the first European standard for fuel cell modules for the heavy-duty applications. And I think this is a very good step in the correct direction, because we believe in Solaris that together with the battery buses, hydrogen buses are going to be the trend for the next years to come. So it's very, very important to have a definition of what the standard is for these products. Apart from the electric and the hydrogen buses, still in the industry we are providing zero-emission fossil fuel buses. We have most important customers here. For example, we have delivered 100 units, and we have and the customer opted for another 100 in Tallinn. We have won a very prestigious tender in Israel, a market very important for us, for Jerusalem, 120 low-emission Euro 6 engine, 18-meter buses. And of course, our long-lasting trusted customer in Cotral in Rome, which every year is trusting us more and more with more orders, and we have reached, if I'm not mistaken, around 600 units today. So very important for us to keep the footprint also in that segment. Another thing which I believe it is very, very important, and I will ask everybody who is using buses for transport of young kids and going to schools. This is 3 cities in Poland which already started doing that, and I think it's very important from young age to learn our kids that electromobility is the future, so they have to get aware and familiar with that. In the cities of Grzęboszów, Godzianów and Bielane, they have started operating with a 12 electric bus adjusted to transport students with seat belts, all the legal signs, and so far and so on. The buses are equipped with 41 seats, and they fully adapted also for people with disabilities. I think this is very important for the future, and it shows that this is the way we have to go. You are probably aware that back in autumn 2020 we have made an online presentation on our 15-meter bus. So just a reminder, this slide is a new product, completely fossil fuel free. It's only electric. It has 3 axles. It has, due to the design that we have managed to reduce weight and efficiency of the vehicle, we have increased the passenger capacity as a result. And at the moment, the vehicle is ongoing tests in Nordic countries in strategic customers. Very good feedback, of course, still a prototype, but very good feedback from the customers. And I have to remind you as well that it is able to operate both in Class 1 and in Class 2. Another premiere, which is going to happen this year in June, it's going to be our smallest family member, our 9-meter low-entry electric bus. This is again a bus which we're going to produce only as an electric bus. There are going to be no fossil fuel propulsion systems. It's going to be both operating in Class 1 and Class 2. It is also going to have another trend which is very common in Solaris buses, the unification of the platform. So all of our family members are more or less the same, to make sure that we keep the standards not only for production purposes but also for the customer who is opting for our units, for our products. And also, as always, modern design, modern way to drive, all the new safety solutions will be on board of this vehicle. More to come in June 2020, so stay tuned. As it comes to the batteries, which are the heart of our new buses, we are all the time have a continuous development of this. And we decided that we're going to invest a lot on the batteries, because it is very important that the operators will be less and less dependent on charging very oftenly, on having as much range as possible, of trying to adapt the current fleets with the new technology, which is the electric buses. We are distinguishing in two segments our batteries, our battery offer. It is Solaris High Power, which is the batteries that are perfect for quick charging, and Solaris High Energy, which are the batteries that can charge overnight or for large range in one charge, let's call it like this. So more to come from Solaris in the nearest future in terms of the battery developments. But battery development, the new batteries is one thing. Many of the manufacturers are talking about second life, and it's a big trend this time of year, or these times. So we just only talk. We are doing also something about it. Excuse me. And we have made a kind of a consortium agreement, or a kind of a collaboration development together with our customer in Jaworzno, PKM Jaworzno. And we're going to take the already existing batteries that have been used. These are batteries of 160 kilowatt hour nominal power, and we're going to use them as an energy storage. And that will help us also in the future, from this learning, to also develop further this recycling to more and more cities. It is very important that Solaris has the vision that it will be zero emission from beginning to end, involving not only the production, but also the suppliers of the production and after that. And I will speak about it in the next slides, which is about our after sales. Our after sales has been always one of the main powers and strongest powers of Solaris, because we believe that a satisfied customer is not only the customer that has a very good designed and good produced vehicle. It has to be also being served correctly. So we have in strategic areas around Europe logistics network, which has the relevant parts needed for these services, and also people which are highly skilled and highly trained to do this and operate this maintenance. As you can see here in the map, we have from also the square meters that we are of the warehouses that we keep in relevant places. Once this requires a lot of spare parts to be on time. Once most of the contracts that we sign in Solaris, we have 24 to 48 hours delivery of all the spare parts related to the bus. And talking about spare parts, it's very well known that we have our own product line, which is produced and manufactured having in mind not only the best possible operation of the vehicle, but also not having to pay extremely big prices for that. We believe in value for money in Solaris, and this is why we have developed this range, which is generating more and more products. We started at the beginning of 2019 or 2018 with only brake pads, but today you can find a vast portfolio of products, going from filters to air bellows, suspension items, and many others. I invite you to visit our website and see more about this offer. Talking about zero emissions and about reaching the customer as fast as possible, we have invested last year in augmented reality solutions, and this will make Solaris even further reducing the footprint by not have to travel to the customer, by not have to go to first request back to the customer. So we are able to connect via augmented reality glasses to the customer, speak in our language and in the language of the customer immediately. You can translate this. So we can make remote vehicle inspections, even remote acceptance procedures. So it's very, very, very important for the company to continue and develop on that once we are striving to be as fast as possible in the reaction times. Complementary to the augmented reality, or augmented reality complementary to ES Connect, this is our system that diagnoses online our vehicles. We have lifetime feedback of what the buses are, the status of the vehicle, starting from the state of charge, maybe open fault codes, online diagnosis, troubleshooting, name it. So everything that it has to be done, which could mean that the vehicle has to go back to the workshop, or our technicians have to visit the customer, this is a thing of the past. We connect directly via our servers, and we are able to troubleshoot majority of the problems or issues that the vehicle could have. A few words about also the awards that we have been honored the last year. We have been named the Global E-Mobility Leader in 2020, a very prestigious award in my opinion. It shows that Solaris has made the correct decision back 10, 11 years ago to invest in the electric vehicles and electromobility, and this award shows today that that bet was correct, and we will continue to be the number one. Also, our design has been awarded as a top design 2020 for our Trolino 24-meter bus. Is the double articulated, for the ones who don't know, as an innovative and unique design. I invite you also to our website, so have a look on this product, the ones that haven't seen that. Also, the Smart City Solutions award for innovative solutions in the field of e-mobility and zero-emission transport. That award comes handy, or comes in place together with our mobility office, which, by the way, Mateusz is the leader of that. And I think this is very important to say that we are able to provide solutions to the cities from A to Z. It means not only we design together with you, we provide you the product, but also we are helping you operate the product. So full scope from vehicle infrastructure and operation of the bus. Last addition to our products was also the anti-COVID solution, thing of our times. We have prepared a package that will support the person that is on the bus most of the time, and that is the driver, but also for the passengers. So we have created a couple of solutions that can be implemented in the new vehicles, but also in the existing fleets, starting from touch-free opening doors, disinfectants in strategic places inside the vehicle, intercoms for the driver, passenger counting systems, so all the time the driver will know how many passengers are inside, so not to exceed the number of passengers are allowed by the city, and of course closed driver's cabin. Very important, and also I invite you to our website to see the latest solutions about antivirus package. And that would be all from my side. Thank you for the attention. Mateusz?
Thank you very much, Petros. I think that this is the time to start our Q&A session right now. To ask questions, you need to log into the Zoom link, which was sent to the media representatives some days ago. So, short few seconds break. We a bit redesigned the studio, and we come back with the Q&A session. Thank you.
Do you... Sorry?
Okay, welcome to our question and answer session. I hope we will be able to join via online tools with our viewers, with the media representatives. Do we have somebody already waiting in our virtual room to ask the question? Okay. Oh, hello, Tom.
Yes.
Hello, Tom. Can you hear us?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
We can hear you very well too, and we can see you. We see it's a very sunny day somewhere in Norway, I believe.
Oh, he's in Kaulis.
Yes, I am in Bergen today,
Oh,
and we are driving the Solaris Trolino.
Okay, it was not in a scenario at all. We are completely surprised that that we are in the place where our Solaris today. Indeed, we have just delivered Solaris trolley buses equipped with batteries to Bergen, which is a brand new trolley bus system.
That's correct. We test drive this for our video and for my magazine.
Okay, well, looking forward then. But so, okay, what's your question, Tom?
Okay, I have 3 questions. The first of all is that you can see that the Chinese manufacturers now it's entering Europe very fast. They come with electric buses, and I'm wondering how Solaris will react on this over time.
Okay, I think this is a great question. Thank you for it. Let me tell you first that we like competition. So we think competition is good to serve the customers, to help the market to develop, and to make us stronger. So in principle, we think is good. How we are responding to that, it's true, as you say, Chinese manufacturers, they are coming to Europe. Europe is growing, especially in electromobility. Is becoming a more attractive market, and of course is attracting different competitors. They are competing here mainly on price. Our strategy is we believe we have a better product. So that's the first thing. We think is very important to see the overall life of the product. The bus needs to be in operation many years, and you need to be having high reliability and good cost. So that's basically our offers to the market. So a strong product. The second important thing is really deep after sales implemented in the countries for many years, so which is equally important. Again, we think not only in the day we deliver the bus, we think in the full life of the bus, and after sales is a key pillar of our value proposition to the customers. And finally, we believe that that our presence in the markets over many years, it's also an advantage, because it's true that the technology is new. But the relationships and understanding how the customers are operating, how the cities have their different fleets, and having this long-term relationship for many years, we believe is also an advantage for us. And of course, we are leveraging that. So that's more or less the way we are responding to this new competitive environment. Let me tell you that we are very proud of our European roots. We are not only manufacturing in Europe, but a lot of our components are from European suppliers, and of course, that's, I think, part of our value proposition, and we plan to keep with that.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is that you can see that several European producers are not going so fast into the electric mobility. What do you think about when they pulled in for this?
I will say two folds. I think, first of all, not all the European competitors are the same, not at all. I think we still have too much noise in this market. Many small companies go to the market claiming that they have an electric bus and that they can deliver the electric bus. I don't think that many of them are ready technologically and ready to deliver these buses, ready to support these buses when they are in operation. So I think the market will clean a little bit the competitive landscape, especially with some of these players. There are other groups that I think is the one that you are referring to, that somehow they are moving in a slower pace. And I think that's for different reasons. Some of them, they have been slower developing the technology. Others, they have a legacy that they want to protect. And maybe they want to really to keep this change as slow as possible. I think this is unstoppable. We believe that this is the trend. And again, some of them, they will come to the markets. I think many others will not survive and will not be here in some years' time. The market will be the judge.
Okay. And my last question is that when do we see that only electric driveline from Solaris and not fossil fuel energy?
You mean that when we're going to have our own product, or you mean when
you're only electric mobility, not diesel engine anymore?
Let me tell this one, and maybe Pedros, you can complement on that. First of all, we are here to serve the needs of our customers. So we have, as you know, all the technologies, and we serve the needs of the customers. And the market is evolving quickly, but today other technologies are also needed. I would like to highlight that even a conventional technology bus in our cities reduce CO2 emissions versus filling the cities with passenger cars with one person. So I think public transport needs to play the role and needs to grow with all technologies. Of course, electromobility is the main trend, but not the only one. So what we are doing is we are adapting the company, and not only production, we are adapting from sales, after sales, our engineering team, we are adapting company very, very quickly, over-investing in the transition towards electromobility, but at the same time, of course, we are still developing and serving with other technologies. So to your question directly, when? I don't know. The truth is that if the countries follow the European guidelines, basically almost half of the new buses should be electric quite soon. We are already very close to that, and we believe that, of course, that will accelerate. So you can make the maths, but probably not in a very long time from now, we will have basically the full electric mix, basically.
And I have to say that we are doing our best, because every new product that we are developing or we are producing or we are showing to the customers is only electric. As you saw, the 15 meter is only electric, the 9 meter is going to be only electric. So from our side, we're doing the best to transform this as fast as possible.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer.
Thank you much.
Thank you very much.
It's great to see you. Yeah, enjoy the weather and enjoy the driving our trolley bus in Bergen.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you soon, face to face. Yeah, not online.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Okay, these were the first questions from Tom Terjesen from Norway. As you could see, the fantastic weather today in Bergen. Do we have some other journalists who would like to have to ask the question? Oh, okay. Hi, hello. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. What
Very
about
good. Thank you.
We can see you, we can hear you. I hope you can see and hear us too, Oleg.
Yeah, I have one question, no, maybe two. First of all, about the third generation and the minibus, electric minibus. When we can expect some new models about the minibus electric and the last model of third generation. Do you know something about that?
I think we just presented the 9 meter that's going to be in June, Oleg. If you didn't see the presentation, this is not good.
Yeah, but I have a question about the 8.9.
Yes. This 8.9 meter is going to be replaced by a 9 meter low entry bus, which we're going to present in June. The exact date is not known yet, but we will announce soon. So this bus is going to replace one-on-one the 8.9 meter low entry that we had electric. And by the way, it's going to be again only electric vehicle.
Yeah. Next question about the new models, is about the Trolino 24. You have great experience from Bratislava, so congratulations. And the question about the future, what's about the biggest model in your offer?
Yeah. So we are at the moment competing in some tenders which are around Europe and in Czech Republic, in Slovakia as well, France, Denmark. So there's a lot of cities which are interested on such larger vehicles. With one driver you can transfer more people. So it is very important for the operators today to have such a possibility to do that. So the product sees a lot of good feedback. And I am convinced that in this year we will announce some big cities opting for our bus.
If I may add something, I would like to remind that this platform was developed not only for trolley buses.
Yes, correct.
This is a B-articulated platform also for other alternative drives like hybrid or electric buses.
That's
so
correct.
if there is any interest from the market having a B-articulated electric bus, we are also ready. Yeah?
And last question about the ranking in this year, about the main customers, main countries in Europe, about the delivery of Solaris. In last year we have Poland, Germany, and Italy. I was watching this part of presentation, and what will be in this year? What do you expect about Poland? I think first position will be difficult to defend.
I would say not so difficult because the product is quite good and the customers are continuing buying the product. So I don't know where you get this information from, but definitely we will still be number one in Poland and for many years to come, by the way.
Yeah.
And
I thought about, the ranking of your production and that last year Poland was the biggest country. I no doubt that Poland is the first place for Solaris for sure.
No,
No, I was just wanted to say that the places after Poland are interchanging most of the times. It's between Germany, Italy, also Spain is starting to become stronger and stronger. Perfect. We have some expectations also from France. Still, we are in a good way. So it depends. We have very good months to come, and I think we're going to have a very good year as well.
So good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oleg. Thank you. So we have already questions from Norway, from Poland. I have information that we are expecting another journalist to join our virtual room. By the way, I hope you enjoyed this online press conference. This is the first time we are providing a press conference that way. Yeah, all of us are learning, and I think we learned a lot over this past few months how to do the online events. Yeah.
We learned how to speak to cameras and not to people.
Yeah, that's right. But here we have impression like we speak directly to you, having you on the screen.
That's correct.
So yeah, there are some small technical difficulties to join. Yeah, so once again, I would like to remind to all of you that you can ask your question joining the Zoom platform, and the link to the Zoom platform was sent to you in the emails. I have information that we have another person waiting. I think it's Torsten Wagner. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Torsten.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, but there is no sunshine here, so I put some flowery shirt on.
So you should move to Norway to have more sun, then, as we could see. Yeah. Hello. But I assume you are somewhere in Germany, at the moment.
Yes, right in the middle with cloudy skies. So
that's good.
Your second market, and first of all, I want to say congratulations for 25 years of an impressive company history.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I hope you can do a little bit of partying this year.
Keeping social distance.
Finger crossed.
Fingers crossed, yeah. So I have a little, some 2 or 3 questions. The first one about hydrogen, which is very interesting what you're doing there. And I'm curious, as the big German competitor is changing from, in the long run, from gaseous hydrogen with pressure tanks to liquid hydrogen, especially for the trucks, and in the long run, probably also for the buses. What is your way ahead? Will you cling to the gaseous hydrogen, or are you even looking into things like liquid carrier fuels like LOHC? This is a very new technology where you really can tank it like diesel or gasoline. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts about this?
Let me answer to that. What is very important for everybody to understand is that Solaris is investing in heavy-duty vehicles. So all the developments that we are doing, we are making sure that the bus will be able to operate and in a declared range, no matter what are the conditions of the operation. So we are carefully checking the technologies. We don't say no to anything, of course. We are checking every technology which is available. But for the moment, the strategy that we have, we believe is the most correct one for the operators to be able to adapt one-to-one to what they were used in diesel and move for the hydrogen. This is our aspiration for the electric buses. This is what we do also for the hydrogen buses. So we of course look what the others do, but we would like to make our own history. We would like to make our own path. And we believe that the proposals that we have for the customer, and if you have observed how many of those have opted for our vehicle, it looks like it's the correct way forward. So we will continue exploiting other possibilities, but for now we are developing the way it is.
Yeah, let me add one thing on this. I think we say that before, it's very important for us. We want to offer reliability to the operators. It's very, very important. Mm. When you are in early stages of new technologies, it's very dangerous to change from one technology to another from time to time, because at the end, you lose the traction, you lose a little bit the progress and so on. For us, again, I think keeping the technology and ensuring that our bus is better and better and better over time is very, very important, because we think that that's what the customer needs. So sometimes, again, the balance between when the next innovation is coming and when do you introduce in the market is a delicate one. We think that we are making the right balance. Yeah. So we are innovative, we are bringing new technologies to the market, but at the same time, we are all introducing new changes when we believe the changes are ready to be super reliable on the field. Mm-hmm. And again, this is a delicate equilibrium. We believe that we are doing, again, the right decisions on that. But of course, as Pedro is saying, we are all monitoring everything that is happening in the market to see when is the moment to make a change.
Okay, but you're really going these two paths, e-mobility on the one side and battery buses and hydrogen as, let's say, also in an equilibrium. You don't decide for one for the time being.
We believe that hydrogen buses is a complementary technology to the electric vehicles. So yes, we are developing both projects. We believe both of them are very important for the operations for different reasons. So we don't have we have our visions, but for the moment we are believing in both technologies as complementary to one another.
It's interesting to say that, again, for cities, the hydrogen bus has a lot of things in common with the battery bus. In fact, 80% of the bus is the same bus. Yeah. And that's important for us because, again, we leverage on the experience. So we are having a strong hydrogen bus because we have already a strong battery bus. We didn't mention in the presentation, but if you see the orders, accumulated orders in Europe, we are one of the top 2 companies with more orders for city buses, hydrogen city buses. And by the way, the other company is not the one that was with the battery buses. We are the only one that are at the top, both in battery buses and in hydrogen buses. And again, for us, are complementary technologies, and that's the way we are approaching, and I think that's the way our customers are understanding also.
Okay, is there time for one question about battery buses, Mateusz?
Yeah, we still have time for a second question, yeah?
Okay, so I was wondering, the one big problem of electric buses is temperature. I won't ask about BVG, no. My question is hot weather. Are you working also on battery buses for countries like, I don't know, United Arab Emirates? You delivered many buses to Dubai, for example, years ago, I think 2006, 7, 8 or so. Will there be a solution for this topic? And the second and last question, do you think the Clean Vehicle Directive, which will be in action, I think August this year, will be again another push for electric sales?
First of all, we are operating vehicles in very high temperatures already. We have vehicles in Italy, we have vehicles in Spain, so the temperatures over there are quite high as well. But probably you are talking about in more time of the year, in more months over the year. So in a few months we will have a test vehicle in a country which will be much hotter, and I can say as much as that for now, to deliver even to have even more feedback about how our batteries are operating and how the vehicle is generally operating. So this is the answer to that.
Okay. And to your question on European directives, again, we think that this transition is the right thing for the transport. Don't forget that transport globally is around 13-14% of the CO2 emissions, but in Europe it's 23. So Europe is more dependent on solving the issue of transport than other geographies in the world. And the good thing is the technology is ready, but the less good thing is that probably the speed needs to go faster. So we expect that, of course, all the regulators, they give a push, they support this transition. It's good for the citizens, it's good for the European countries, and we think that it's going to be in this direction. That's what we are hearing, and of course that we think that's the right thing to do.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to the short vehicle in June, because I think that's a real market niche until now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you much, Thorsten. Thank you.
See you again.
Thank you for your question. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Okay, waiting for another journalist. I would add that the technical reliability of our electric buses is very high, in some cases even higher than the, let's say, classic technologies. Yeah. So
I
this
didn't,
also partially
I
answered to-
didn't provoke him to continue asking about BVG because in BVG we have 98% availability of the fleet.
So yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Just a week of maybe a little bit of a low temperature, but in general over the year the vehicles are operating with more than 98% availability, which is, I would say, outstanding for such a new technology.
I have information that we have another person waiting to ask. Oh, it's Ulo Massing from Sweden. Hello, Ulo.
Hello.
News and you guys. I have a couple of brief questions, and one goes with concerns the hydrogen vehicles. What if you look to the next couple of years? What market share do you expect, or rather, what share of your production do you expect hydrogen vehicles will have in 1 to 5 years' time?
Maybe I can go. At the moment, the hydrogen buses, in 2021, they will represent roughly 5 to 6% of our production. Roughly, this is a rough number. Yeah. So I am expecting that in the next 5 years, seen from the projects that are coming and what the customers are thinking, that could end up being a little bit more than double. It means 10 to 11, 12% of our production. But in total in European markets, I don't have the visibility to give you a figure. But for our production, around 10% it could represent.
Right. The price development for hydrogen vehicles, what will that be?
The aspiration for the prices, both for electrics and hydrogen buses, is to give them as attractive as possible. And as you understand, especially for the hydrogen, is a very, very young product, extremely young product. Everybody is learning in each bus that we are producing. But our target is to have a flat prices for both technologies.
Yeah, and in the case of hydrogen, by the way, again, not only for the hydrogen, in every technology we look for TCO, we look for really a competitive bus, not only thinking about how much is, let's say, upfront investment, because what is the life of the vehicle. Yeah. In the case of hydrogen, I think the infrastructure is one of the biggest battles in the industry. So solving the cost of the infrastructure and solving the cost of the hydrogen itself is one of the challenges. We believe that will be solved, but of course that needs to be, that will take some time. That's the way. And in that sense, TCO will become better and better.
And one final question about engines, actually. Does the new cooperation that was presented some weeks ago between Daimler and Cummins affect Solaris in any way?
Not in any way that I know, at least. No, not at all. We have very strong ties with Cummins for many, many years. I think they are with us from the beginning of the existence of the company, or maybe a little bit later. But we have our good collaboration with them. I don't see any problems at all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
you
well.
much, Ulo. I hope you are satisfied with answers. Yeah, it was great to have you here. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you much.
Thank you.
I have information that we have another journalist waiting to enter our virtual studio. Yeah, it needs some seconds. Yeah, to connect. And as you said, Javier, there's a lot to do on the manufacturer side, but even more on the infrastructure side of the hydrogen, yeah, to make this.
But I'm happy that Mercedes is following our path and they are opting our engines, that we're already using for many years. We seem to be good and doing a good job that Mercedes is going with Cummins.
Yeah, I think
okay.
Okay.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Kirsten and Mr. Hanke, hello. Good to have you here.
We are good. Yes. It's a bit rainy, but we have sunny 3 Solaris Urbino 18 electric got recently at our municipal operator.
Oh, in Bonn, yeah, I mean, yeah.
The first Solaris at all that Stadtwerke Bonn received ever, but it's not the thing I want to talk with you. But, I have 2.5 questions.
Okay.
The first is, what about the Urbino 18 hydrogen? Because operators strongly demand for hydrogen Arctics.
Okay, I can take this one. Unfortunately, maybe I will not be clear enough. I will not disclose everything, but again, 18 meters is a meaningful part of the market. So depending on the geography, but it can be 1/3 of the total number of vehicles. we expect this mix to at least continue, if not accelerate, and again, regardless of the technology. It doesn't matter if you are taking a conventional bus or a hydrogen bus or a battery bus, 18 meter is an important part of the fleet. So I can tell you we are already working on that. I think the reaction from the markets to our 12-meter hydrogen has been fantastic. And of course, we think this is a part of the portfolio that we will need to have. So we are already working on that. And hopefully soon we can announce news and dates and what do we expect from this product. But of course, is part of our plans.
Second question. I understand that you are voting for high energy batteries. Do you think that opportunity charging with many charging points in the network is a technology of yesterday, or no, not at least not a technology of tomorrow?
If you see at the tenders what are going on, or the customer requirements what is going on, we see a trend. That's true that the customers are going more and more in the direction of overnight charging, but I would not call it a day of the past or not a day for the future. Still, I think there is a room enough for opportunity charging, because it gives further development to the operator to be more flexible of how they can manage their fleets. And it is also very good for the operators which already have infrastructure from trolley units. So they want to transit from trolleys to electric. So they can use the same systems, and with opportunity charging they can operate also electric buses. So I wouldn't call it yet a thing of the past or not for the future.
But building on that, what you say is very important. Is what we need to be sure is at least for the key use cases or for the key solutions, we have the strongest technology. That's why we are investing in these batteries that you mentioned. Is not because we think that the others are not needed. It's because we want to have the strongest value proposition in every important market needs, and that's why we are investing in that. But you are right on that. Yeah.
Okay, and the half question is, I have a problem of understanding your press release concerning ÖBB Postbus, because you mentioned a frame agreement for 182 buses, but when I calculate all the types you mentioned, I am only coming to 162. Is there any secret type that you cannot mention in the press?
Obviously, there must be some mistakes in mathematics, but definitely the frame contract for up to 182 buses and up to 40 out of these 182 might be hydrogen.
But what is worth to mention that most of the contracts in every operator that we are signing, there are options of increasing by 10 or 15 or 20% the existing frame contract. So maybe that was the discrepancy that was over there. So apologies for that.
We'll check that once again, Dieter, and come back to you with the reply, okay? The correct mathematics. I was just informed that we are run out of time, and because we are scheduled until 12 o'clock, so we don't have more time to have more questions. If anybody of watching us has some more questions, you can always send them via email, or on our social media channels.
Of course.
So once again, I would like to remind you that we have this information will be available in our social media channels. You can also watch this entire event once again in our YouTube media channel. But for now, I think we will stop here. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoy it, and hope to see you soon during exhibitions and other events. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.